This product was made in the United States of America. If you fly internal combustion engines, sooner or later one of them isn't going to start, and you're going to want to check to see if there's any spark. Getting the plug wire off of the spark plug while it's still in the motor is one thing, and that's hard enough. But after you put the spark plug in the wire later to check the spark, it's almost impossible to get out without wrecking something. And remember that the plug has to be fully seated into that terminal, or else it's not going to make a spark regardless of how good the ignition is. We have to have the metal tip of the spark plug firmly seated in the top of the terminal. If the metal tip of the plug isn't in that contact, there is no circuit and you can't get a spark regardless of what's going on with the ignition. After finding out if there's spark or not, you still have to get the spark plug out of that terminal, and now you don't have anything to hold on to. This is when lots of people grab a pliers and then jerk this thing out of there and try not to hurt themselves. But there's a good chance that they hurt the spark plug in the process of doing this. The distortions in the threads on the spark plug are going to start gouging out the threads in the cylinder. That'll keep making these threads weaker and weaker until finally they just strip out, and then you need to replace the cylinder. I've also seen these threads get weak enough that the spark plug just blew out of the cylinder while the plane was flying. And that hardly ever leads to anything good. So what's the answer? The purple plug puller. This is a nicely made aluminum tool that's knurled very cleanly and it gives you a very good grip. It has 4 threaded holes for 3 different types of spark plugs. It has quarter 32 threads for those really small RC plugs in one end, and the other end has the M10 thread for the popular C6M plugs that are just about universal in RC gasoline engines. One of the center threads is the M14. It takes the large plugs from the older Zenoas. The other center hole has the M12 thread, and even the manufacturer doesn't know exactly why they did that. They did say that if they identify another thread for a commonly used plug, they'll change that M12 to that thread. I'm really impressed by not only the really cool idea of making this tool in the first place, but of the quality of the machining you get for this price. I've seen some really lousy knurling on tools that cost a whole lot more than this. Of course, none of this means anything if the purple plug puller doesn't pull plugs. You just screw it onto the plug and pull the plug, and that's it. It's a great idea, it's made very well, and it works just like they say it does. So if you've ever had a hard time getting a spark plug out of a plug wire terminal, or you will in the future, this is the tool that you need. The purple plug puller is easy to use, very well made, and doesn't cost much. See the full review on our site for more details.